It takes hard work, attitude, and tools to build a country like ours. Today's tools allow us to build with greater speed, efficiency, and power than ever before. But what if we went back in time, not 100 or 200, but 400 years ago? Let's take a trip and find out what kinds of tools and materials the early American colonists used to build their homes, farms, and villages. We've come a long way since the first settlers arrived on this country's shores nearly 400 years ago. Just how far? Well, to get an idea, let's go back in time to the year 1627. A group of colonists have just arrived from England and set up a shoreline community that will eventually become Plymouth, Massachusetts. This is Plymouth Plantation, a living museum that authentically recreates that 17th century time and place. I decided to pay a visit there today to find out how my modern tools, including my pickup truck, compare to the tools that were available to those early settlers as they began to build America. For example, take this trip itself. It's about 200 miles. It'll take me about 3.5 hours, seated comfortably inside my pickup's cab. For those early settlers, a trip to the newly founded community of Gloucester, about 90 miles away, would have been made on foot and would have taken 3 days. And while I'm zipping down a 4-lane paved highway, they would have been slogging along a muddy and rutted trail. And what about finding Plymouth in the first place? I have the luxury of a satellite navigation system here in the GMC. The Mayflower's crew had to rely on the stars, charts, and a compass. Should I need information quickly, it's only a finger's push away using my OnStar system.
Hello and welcome to OnStar.
If I have an accident, OnStar will automatically call for help. If something went wrong in Plymouth, the only way to reach out was by sending a foot messenger or by delivering a letter to England by ship, a 2-month process each way. Unlike modern homes clad with sheathing, siding, and drywall, the colonist walls were constructed of hand-split siding on the outside and daub, a sticky material made of clay, sand, and straw, inside. While today we cut lumber almost effortlessly with sawmills and table saws, the early settlers cleaved planks using a pit saw and a whole lot of back-breaking labor. For the early colonists, getting a job done was largely a matter of manpower. Today, the solution comes in the form of 4-wheel drive, torque, and raw horsepower. Present-day roofs are commonly put up using asphalt shingles or other up-to-date materials. The Plymouth colonists used what they had at hand, and in fact had used for generations in England: thatch, layered dry vegetation such as straw, reeds, and rushes. While my GMC pickup makes easy work of moving heavy loads, the Pilgrims here in 1627 had few options for transporting heavy burdens, except with their own shoulders and backs. Horses, for example, weren't available until decades later. We may take for granted the convenience of a modern-day range oven or cooktop, but there was no such comparable tool for these early settlers who relied on open fires and heavy cast-iron cookware to prepare their food. These days, if there's a need to chop or grind something, most likely we'll reach for the food processor or blender. Early 17th century homemakers in Plymouth ground corn with a wooden mortar and pestle. I get my news instantly on a mobile device. The Pilgrim's broadcast came courtesy of the village crier.
Oh yeah! Oh yeah! Oh yeah! Oh yeah!
Cruising down the highway, my GMC's all-season climate control system keeps me blissfully unaware of inhospitable weather outside. While, on the other hand, those first colonists had only opened fires and hastily put up shelters to get them through the harsh weather of that first winter. Nearly half of them never saw the following spring. As I leave Plymouth Plantation behind and head back to my contemporary way of life, my satellite radio brings me hundreds of choices in music, talk, and news. For those early settlers, entertainment consisted mostly of conversation and candlelight readings of the good book. It takes hard work, spirit, and faith to build a country, and more of the same to keep it strong and free.